So we have come to the uncomfortable yet frequent position where the Team Fortress 2 community knows that an update is coming soon, yet no one knows quite when, or even what the update exactly will hold. The summer season for Team Fortress 2 usually holds the most game-changing content, so the anticipation is higher than almost any other point in the year. There is some evidence of what this update will have floating around, but it seems as though the sum of all of it will give a better story than the individual parts could. So we are going to be looking at all known information on the Team Fortress 2 Summer 2016 update and the validity of some of the largest rumors floating around for this hotly anticipated content update. Signs of this year's update start back on May 11th, where competitive Team Fortress 2 player Banny gave quite a bit of info on TF2 he had from a recent visit to Valve software. Now, I've already covered this story in great detail before, but to sum up the trip, Banny was told that the next major update was going to focus on competitive leaving beta while still adding new features to the casual side of the game. New concepts were discussed, and although specifics were minimal, Banny did paint a picture of a very interesting future. Speculation ensued by yours truly and many others in the community. However, solid information was completely non-existent for a while. So much so that when Valve employee Jill posted on the Facepunch forums that the next update was going to be neato, parts of the community tried to take it as news, and most kept waiting. Now later, the Scout's voice actor Nathan Vitterland had started streaming more regularly, and he actually takes fan donations to do different things in the voice of the Scout. Interestingly enough, while streaming Team Fortress 2, Vitterland was asked if he had recently done any official voice work for Valve.
Have the TF2 dudes, have you recorded anything new for Summer Update? Yeah, I recorded in February and some lines in February, and they haven't been released yet, so.
Now, of course, this could be for anything. However, speculation, I think that these new voice lines are either for the full release of competitive or a previously beta game mode. Furthering this idea, I recently had a conversation with a member of Escalation Studios, developers behind the Pastime game mode, and I was told that this game was pretty much completed for release, and it was at this point up to Valve to push it into Team Fortress 2. Now, Pastime has had some major changes between the last update in the official game and now, and I've discussed most of them in a recent video. However, the game is set to release with 3 maps, including the newly announced Past District. Of course, Robot Destruction could also be released as well, and according to major community member Frozener, Robot Destruction Asteroid and Cactus Canyon are not dead. They're still in development, and Valve is just waiting for the right time to release them. From there, the TF team made a few strange moves, starting on June 22nd with a small update. Within the changelog was only 2 things: the normal updated localization files and internal system changes in preparation of a future update. Most obvious of these changes was the introduction of a splash screen, telling players some basic info on competitive along with the guidelines of the abandoned system. Digging Deeper reveals strings for 9v9 being almost fully supported, along with references to a unknown competitive coin. And many were expecting the full summer update within days of this information, although instead a competitive stress test was held, during which a player was actually able to match with Valve employee Eric S., who was testing basic matchmaking changes along with the end UI. Funny enough, during this match, a player abandoned, and very soon after, Eric said, "Hopefully, we will have less abandons." Now, later in that same day, it was revealed that new promotional items were being released in conjunction with NIS America and the game Disgaea PC. The Prinny Hat, the Prinny Pouch, and the Prinny Knife were shown and were said to be awarded to purchasers of the game soon. And although my opinion of these items are mixed, it is nice to see a new promotional weapon added. A few days later, on the 25th, another update was pushed once again to add internal system changes in preparation of a future update. Now, I would like to point out that this update was pushed on a Saturday, a very rare occurrence, as Valve employees would have to work on the weekend to get it out, showing some very heavy work being done here. Now, this was followed by the 11th and final competitive stress test, with the line from Jill during the announcement that comp will be rolling out of beta soon. How soon? No one knows. I think that although comp will be a large focus, we will probably see a return of contracts, skins, and cases. I also see some of the largest balance changes coming to classes, weapons, and even maps in the competitive pool. I do not think there will be any new weapons, even long after this update, as balancing the current game for competitive is one of the largest things they have to focus on. However, once the TF team sees the game as balanced, I would expect to see new weapon releases periodically to shake up the game's core, at least as long as competitive is successful, and I need to stress this. The future of Team Fortress 2 is in the hands of the users. Right now, the TF team is focusing pretty heavily on competitive being a large and important feature, but if it turns out to putter out like every other major update game mode, Valve might have to rethink exactly how they deal with Team Fortress 2. Just form a team with friends and queue together. The Team Fortress competitive community has deserved substantially more attention for years, and this is its chance.